Yeah. What kind of mood are we opening up here with, Nox?
It's going to be a series of very disjointed visions.
The children that were scattered about the floor of the common room looked at the old man, waiting for a tale of faraway lands and heroic exploits. I suppose we were at the beginning then. The underdog, the grove, the sea, the palace, they all converged right there.
Harold, have you ever seen so many different kinds of people in such a big place? How hard could it be to find somebody that knows where Tailwind is?
You're a miracle, boy.
I shake my head and quietly to myself say, there's no such thing as miracles.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a running start. I'll count to 30. 1, 2.
30, and then I'm gonna run at him and attack him.
You told me your history. I was born on that boat. Huh? That ship that your friend is dissecting.
I absolutely hate how chipper you always are.
And it'd be a good look on you, though.
If it's a riddle, I want to solve it. If it's a lock, I want to open it.
I'm a holy woman, and I'm looking for things that were taken from me and my people.
They could not begin to fathom the situation that they found themselves in.
And we begin again. The rolling sea spreads outward on the Sword Coast, stretching out towards the endless horizon. A wash of purple, red, and pink is spread across the fading light of the sky as night slowly descends upon Waterdeep. Far on that horizon, scattered like leaves, are the sailing ships, merchants, galleons, war vessels, all spreading outward to the wide world of Aber Torel, traveling to lands far, far from this chaotic and oftentimes dangerous city. Waterdeep is a port of intrigue and mystery, one that sits in a chaotic storm. Surrounding the city are a network of powerful forces, all vying for control of the Crown of the North. It has been like this for as long as anyone can remember. The city holds within it a vast network of underworld spies and criminals seeking to manipulate and control the vast fortune of coin and, more importantly, power that passes through the harbor in the dock ward. This city is more than just a collection of buildings and streets, powerful walls, enormous skyscraping statues that guard it. It is more than the city watch that spend their day guarding the civilians and the peasantry of this place. It is more than the nobility that works in the shadow, masked lords seeking to vie for control, none knowing their true identity, to protect both them and the intrigues that they weave. It is more than those who trample through its gates, seeking to sell their hard-earned wares, their crops, their cattle, all of the fruits of the labor of this land, which are hard won. There are dangers in the world, and this city has defied them all and become a bastion for civilization. This city is more than it appears. And as the sun finally sets and the wash of brilliant colors spreads out in the sky, a small figure stands in the rain in an alleyway near a burnt tavern. The shattered remains of that place, a recent scar upon the cityscape. At the foot of the small figure is a tavern sign, charred, with a very carefully painted golden owl upon it. In the rain, the figure's cloak covers them and keeps them warm. But it does more than that. The small figure looks across the desolation that has been wrought to this place that he once loved and knew well. And within his cloak, he reaches in a small hand. From a distance, this individual might be mistaken as a child, but in fact, it is a halfling. A man known as Phineas Fiddlescratch. He reaches into his cloak and he pulls out a small piece of parchment, unfurls it, reads the words upon it, sighs very audibly, puts the parchment back, and then walks back into the chaotic street, disappearing as the wagons and horses move about their business in the mud, pulling with them all the life that Waterdeep has to offer. That very night, a young group of adventurers decided to make their way to the taverns. To enjoy, for the first time since arriving in Waterdeep, some of the entertainments that the city has. They spent the night in revelry, dancing and singing, and not just stopping at one tavern, but attending 3. And as the night moved on and the ale flowed, each of the companions became forgetful of everything that had surrounded them previously to this night. The dangers of the Xanathar Guild was forgotten. The threats and the terror, the imprisonment and the escape, the Inquisitor and the mage that travels with him, the magical orb that they carry, within which a small, beautiful goldfish swims, all slipped away. A new companion had been found, and the young man seemed to be a part of the group. As each of them moved through the streets, enjoying their drink and song.
Up to Nox, but if anybody has any drunken antics they want to slip in, maybe now's the time.
I'm not sure about like during, but definitely when everyone's settling in, Maglo is like has like this big fucking vat of seemingly random items no, drink this because it'll make you feel better in the morning if you don't drink, and then you're gonna be super hungover. Just fucking drink it. Just it's like a cure-all, and it always works every time.
Well, what did you put in it?
Like, why? I just stuff.
You told me the story about your flying potion one time. I'm not sure if I want to be drinking everything that you're giving to me.
That was Willow.
How many times did I fall down?
32.
Alder, finally.
To be fair,
You're not
it was
my
only,
real dad.
to be fair, 5 of the 32 times is me pushing you over, but you fell over on your own 27, I think.
Yeah, didn't Siraye kneel down so that way when you pushed me, my knees would buckle?
Oh,
No, that's just you falling.
Hold up, what's that?
No, I kept asking her, she wouldn't do it. I
am surrounded.
I once tried to, and then I tried to push Siraye over so then I could push you over, but Siraye moved out the way and I fell over. I smacked my fucking head against the side of the fucking road.
I think
We're a little funny.
In a drunken haze, all found rest. In the back room of an alchemist shop, as each found their rest upon a bedroll, sleep took them. And within Rosy Glimmerspark's shop, memories begin to stir.
Where are you? Show yourself to me. Reveal yourself.
There is no peace in the sleep that comes. As Hawk's mind begins to stir. The cavern stretches before you. You are alone. You have been now for days. You are covered in filth, mud, dirt. Your blood, the blood of your enemies, and the blood of your sister. You are lost and hungry, and the caverns are endless. The glowing moss that surrounds you casts a purple light. It pulses as if alive, and you've begun hearing things in your mind.
Show yourself to me, little bird. I cannot be denied. We are everywhere.
You do not remember Waterdeep. You do not remember those that sleep around you, Hawk. You only remember that you must escape the Underdark, and that you don't have much time left.
I'm definitely shaking, shivering. I'm just gonna try and book it down the passageway as much as I can, in spite of my injuries.
Are you being quiet?
As quiet as he can be, but I think that's probably not his number one priority.
Then make an acrobatics check with a disadvantage.
That's an 8.
You stumble forward. You don't fall into the water before you as you stumble across an open ravine that spills you out from the corridor into thick, black, deep, murky water that sloshes up at your armored feet. The tattered remains of the vestment of your order are no longer yellow and white. They are brown and filthy gray. Your face hasn't seen the light of day in what feels like a month. And this water, while it should be a welcome sight, fills you with an inexplicable dread. You're thirsty, but you're wary.
There you are. We see you now. Damon, come to us. Just release. Let go.
I start shivering. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. And I'm gonna look over to the water. I'm gonna try and drink some before moving on.
You pool your hands into the water, cupping them together. The water is frigid and cold, but also thick and viscous. Something's on the top layer of it. It undulates, and as you dip your hands into it, you feel the slime across the top of it coalesce, wrap itself around your wrists, and begin to pull you under the water. Make a athletics check, please, with a disadvantage. It's a natural 1. Roll it again. It's 2 natural ones in a row.
Oh my god.
No!
Hawk,
No! No!
Make a third roll, please.
Oh my god.
You have succeeded in not rolling 3 natural ones, which would have been campaign altering and catastrophic. You did, however, roll 2 in a row, which means that you are immediately pulled into the torrent of strange water. And you feel yourself surrounded by a thick, viscous film. And you are drowning in this cold, unforgiving, painful water. As you lose sight of the surface and are dragged beneath, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at a disadvantage. That's a failure. You begin choking on your own bile as you are gasping for air, and your eyes struggle and strain, but you see at the surface of the water a wavering figure looking down upon you. You cannot see features. It is a silhouette. Someone is standing above you, looking down. Make a second Constitution saving throw, please, at a disadvantage. That's a second failure. Immediately, you feel as if your lungs are going to explode as you realize this viscous fluid is forcing its way into your lungs and expanding within your chest. Your armor is pulling you further down, and it is going to become your tomb. And as consciousness begins slipping, Hawk, you hear the voice.
Good. Now you're listening to me. Where is it? Where are you?
Siraye, you are meditating in the corner. You do not sleep. No elf does. You center yourself and you find a place of meditation. And there you release your spirit
And your spirit then travels through your own mind in the palace that you have created. That construction is unique to every elf. Tell me a little bit about yours. What is Siraye doing in her mind palace while the others sleep?
I would assume Siraye's mind palace, mind is a dark void of nothing. And I want to like think of it like in Stranger Things when Elle goes to the reverse world, wherever the hell that's called.
Upside down?
Yeah. Like similar to that in look, where it's just like this dark void. There's no sound. It's just peaceful.
It is a reflection of the world around you, constructed by shadows. It doesn't have form, and you are alone here. There is sanctity and peace. Everything in the world is under your control, and you cannot be harmed here. You cannot be found. You are safe. None of the forces that have conspired against you, none of the dangers of the world, none of your past deeds can hurt you here. It is a silent, empty void, and it is yours. In this perfect control that you have found as you follow the instruction of your masters, those who instructed you in the ways, you have found the razor-honed sharpness of your mind. And like a warrior with a blade on a whetstone, you sharpen it. There is no silence around you, but you have created this pocket, this protective shell. And within it, you sit in a meditative, cross-legged, seated position with your hands resting on your knees, your eyes closed. The world, water deep, everything disappears. Until
you cannot run, Hawk. Damon, show yourself.
Echoing far in the distance, as if a million miles away, you hear it.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Would I still be in the am I awake or am I in the mind castle?
You are fully awake. You're able to remove yourself from it at more or less a moment's notice. And you look across the sleeping forms of your companions in front of you. And you see Hawk. His armor is set upon a wooden table that is next to his bedroll, and he is sweating profusely and shivering, and he looks very pale, and he is murmuring and muttering to himself. What do you do?
I'm going to watch and make sure that nothing else bad happens. He's probably just having a bad dream. And as long as he doesn't get up and start, trying to kill anyone, it'll be fine.
He does not try to get up and kill anyone.
Oh, great. Perfect. He'll be fine.
If he dies, he dies.
I'm going to make a perception check for you, Siraye.
Okay, great.
You do not notice anything out of the ordinary, despite the fact that he is clearly either ill or in the midst of a horrible nightmare.
I'm gonna stay up. I'm not gonna like go to bed or
If
like
you
try
do
and
so,
pass
you-
back out. I'm
you
just
will
gonna.
have disadvantage if you do not return to your mind palace for the night,
Woof.
because you will be tired. Elves
Can I-
may not sleep, but they still need to rest.
Yeah, they still need to rest. Can I roll a Constitution saving throw to determine if I fall asleep or not?
It's a choice, so it's up to you.
Because I'm stuck there.
All right. So you're going to attempt to not rest?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to not rest.
Okay. And then I will allow you additional perception checks over the night. Okay. So you're going to notice something later, but not.
Okay.
Juniper. Sylvanas, the Forest Father, is with you. Walking hand in hand with Shaanti, the Harvest Mother. Nature finds balance. Your meditations and visions have brought you to this damnable city. This collection of mortar and brick, wood and steel. The very weapons and tools used to destroy the natural world that you love so dearly, that your faith is based upon. Unlike other temples and religions, you do not need the structure of a building to find your God. No holy text is necessary. You need but open your eyes and ears and heart to the power of nature. The babbling of a brook will tell you the fate of the universe if you listen long enough. And the warmth of the sun can lead you to eternity. You are not removed from it, but a part of it, unified with all things within Abir Terrell. But your path has not been unbroken, and it has not been easy. It has been 1 year since you first meditated in this grove, among the standing stones, marked with the glyphs of your god. They glow faintly in this moment, and you are listening desperately with the hope that you will find guidance. The sacred groves have been destroyed, attacked by outsiders who have taken much and left behind char and rubble. They have burnt the trees and taken much from the land. They have salted the earth to ensure that they would not grow back. Your shield is gone. And the vision that you've had of the elven princess has not returned. You remember clearly her voice and her face, and you know that she is part of it. Part of the turning of the enormous wheels of fate that have been set in motion. And you are willing to do anything to retrieve the mark of your faith, the shield that was gifted to you by the Forest Father himself. It bears his face, and it protects not only you, but the places like this grove that remain, unblemished and attacked by the hateful world outside of it. You've seen only scattered pieces that have led you to believe that you will retrieve that shield in Waterdeep. As you pray, what do you do?
I collect myself. I finish my prayer to Sylvanas, and I look for any sign of which path I'm to take out of this grove.
You listen closely. You open your heart. Make me a religion roll with an advantage.
17.
The wind rustles to the east, and you know you must head that way. Birds quiet. And words softly reveal themselves to you. They are your own voice. Find the Emerald Enclave. It's very soft. It feels like it's whispering in your ear through gauze. And the wind continues to rustle to the east.
Then I make my way east.
And you turn and you begin walking. And as you do, through the corner of your eye, you see the shimmer of a form. And a young, fresh-faced elven girl in a gossamer slip steps before you and holds out her hand. Help. Don't. They're trying. They want to. Her mouth continues to move, and words are being spoken, but you do not understand it all. You know that she is speaking to you in High Elven, an ancient speech. The High Tongue has not been spoken for some time, but you understand words. It shimmers and then dissipates. The fireball explodes across the battlefield as a battle mage replenishes the material components within his hand and, with a singed beard, looks to Maglo.
I cannot keep him much longer. You're gonna have to move in fast. Do it, lad. Pull them back. I'll cover you.
And another fireball explodes outward. All around you, war. A clash of forces. Wizards and warriors met on a battlefield soaked in blood. As swords clash and arcs of magical light streak across the night sky, Maglo, covered in mud, filthy and exhausted, you run forward, your medical bag dragging behind you like a weight, pulling you into the beyond. You are exhausted, but you push forward. Make a Constitution saving throw.
That's 11.
You stop and catch your breath as right before you, the wounded mage reaching out to you, the one that you had hoped to grab a hold of and drag back into the cover beneath the shattered ruins of the stone temple explodes in an arc of lightning that shoots from the sky. And a series of shadowy figures on the ridge begin moving towards you. Drums sound all around you, and arrows pelt the ground that you stand on. The mage has been incinerated. Where do you wish to go? Back or forward?
What's the situation with the people who told me to move? Like, are they okay, or does it look like I'm gonna have to go back?
In the battlements behind you in the ruins, the mages and remaining force of guardians that protect them have walled themselves behind the shattered bits of building that are providing them cover against the onslaught that surrounds you. You are in the open. They have cover. Ahead of you, you see the ridge, and at the top of it, the enemy continues to assail this spot, seeking to wipe its opponents from the battlefield and claim victory. The number of dead are countless. Surrounding you are the corpses of war. This battlefield is a graveyard.
Fuck hell. And Mags is gonna run forward.
You hear as you move forward, "Help me," as underneath a pile of broken lumber from a cart or a wagon, perhaps a piece of artillery that has been destroyed. It's hard to tell, but underneath this destruction, see a blue robe and a hand reach out, wavering. Help!
Mags dives for him, is trying to get some kind of cover, pulls out his med kit. Like, hey bud, are you okay? Hey, look at me in the eyes.
The gray-bearded wizard looks to you, eyes far away. The one half of his face has been horribly burnt, and you see bone underneath. The charred remains of his gray beard hang horribly mangled, and his robes are covered in blood, mud, and the char of the explosion that caught him. No, lad. Here. The others, you'll have to do this yourself. Just say the words. The scroll will do the rest. And he thrusts into your hands a piece of parchment.
Oh, I don't know about that. I ain't no wizard. Ain't you, bud.
Do it, Oro. He stops as the life leaves his body. And Maglo, you're now holding the dead wizard in your arms. And in your hand, a magic scroll. Another arc of lightning and a hail of arrows strikes the ground 30 feet away. The explosion rocks the earth and shakes it beneath you. And you hear the drums encroaching as the forces gather on the ridge and begin to descend.
What does the scroll say? What does the scroll of?
Do you open it?
Mm-hmm.
Make an Arcana check.
Is there any chance I could use a flash of genius on that? High stakes situation.
Exhausted, tired. This is all that you have, Maglo. Use your flash of genius as you expend the last of any sort of middle energy that you have to deal with this situation.
That'll be a 17.
Scroll unfurls, and you begin as if something unknown worked through you. You begin deciphering the ink marks across it, the circles and the incantations make sense to you in this moment. And as you begin to dissect all of the parts of what it means, you realize that you are mouthing the words, and the scroll dissipates into ash and disappears into the wind in your hands. And immediately, upon that ridge, As the enemy descends upon you, a wall of fire explodes. Damning them all to the abyss. Delia, you remember your mother's face. It was always very far away. The weight of 1,000 things sat upon her shoulder. Your island, your home, the kingdom of Evermeet, the land of Teowen. They were not simple matters, though there was a quiet dignity to everything that she did. Intention and understanding and patience. She was very old, but her eyes were still as bright as they had ever been in your memory. Some elves, as they begin to age, begin to lose that light, as their connection to the world around them fades. Their eyes become dull and gray, until eventually they cloud over completely. It is part of the physiology of your people that is widely misunderstood by outsiders. Elves do not age as others do. They are bastions against time. The blood that flows within your people's veins is strong. And those that retreated to the Isle shielded themselves against the world. And your mother's duties here in this place were complex, to you unknowable. The queen that passed left behind a legacy, and that legacy was filled with the royal houses from across this island. Rather than a solitary ruler, there now was a council. And in that, there was unity, but also singularity. A balance must constantly be held. The push and pull of the desires of these disparate houses, no matter how similar they may be, had always weighed heavily upon the heart of your mother, the queen. You've known a life of simple perfection. And though you've struggled, and your attachment to the weave has been questioned by those that teach you, you know in your heart that you are sheltered here. There is a place here in this crystal palace, on this pristine island that has been manicured and shielded by magic. There is a place where you can forget everything about the outside world, to never question, to never know what lies beyond the boundaries of the arcane rites that shield you. And in this moment, as you look upon your mother's face, as she sits thoughtfully upon an alabaster throne, you know, looking at your mother's face, that she sees you. But there's something else. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
12.
You feel strange. Something isn't here. The island feels empty. Your mother continues to look upon you, wordlessly.
Is there anyone else in the room? Is it just me and her in the throne room, or?
Just the two of you.
Do I remember entering this room? Do I remember my mother entering this room?
You do not.
Mother, how did we get here? Does she answer?
She does not. She continues to look upon you wordlessly.
Is something wrong?
Where did you come from?
In this moment, I'm unsure.
Where did you come from?
Perhaps the kitchen? The door's right there.
Draw deep, child.
Oh, do you mean in the grand scheme of things? I assume, pardon my graphics, but I assume I came from you, Mother. I'm trying to be funny, I apologize.
Who are you? And she stands. And you see now the calm resolve within her face. In her eyes, you see something you've never seen before in your mother. Fury. Anger. Who are you? Within her hand, a sphere of light emerges. And she begins to summon a powerful spell. And she is standing in front of the throne, looking down upon you.
Is there a pillar I can hide behind or something?
You begin looking around and you realize that your gown is pooled around you.
Oh no.
And your skin is twisted, and little claws are where the soft, delicate features of your elven hand once were. And you feel the big floppy ears that you have come to know all too well. You stumble and you fall as you hide, and as you cry behind the pillar, you hear her footsteps coming closer and closer to you.
Is there anywhere I can run?
Make an acrobatics check.
12.
You pull yourself up and you charge towards the doorway. And as you do, the door slams shut in front of you, and your small form runs directly into it. And you hear a voice. Who are you? Answer me, creature.
I'm your daughter. At least I think I am.
This mockery will not stand. You will die. But before you do, know that dress, this harm that you have caused, will be delivered tenfold to those who mock my suffering. Die. And with that word, you feel your form rack, and your entire body begins to desiccate in front of you. You choke on ash as it shoots forth from your mouth. Your mother's eyes, looking upon you, glow with an internal light and energy as the power of the High Elves of Evermeet is used upon you as she casts power word kill. As your body begins to desiccate and you begin to die, you fall to the ground, choking. The elegant regent walks closer to you, as if she has just swatted a fly. And she looks down at you with disgust. And as she does, you hold your hand up. Small claws reaching out. And a gout of spellfire emerges.
Well, I guess I gotta roll a new character, guys. Sorry. See you next week.
Calder.
Oh.
Seems your new friends don't know how to drink. Each of them still slumbers within this strange alchemist shop. You decided to get a little bit of breakfast and find yourself another cup of ale. You've been walking through the street for about an hour. The rest of them are still exhibiting their weakness when it comes to the tavern arts. You do have free reign of the city. You're able to travel from various areas in Waterdeep fairly quickly. You have enough coin to make your way about. What would you like to do?
I guess I'm gonna get these bunch of lightweights some greasy food.
You find yourself at a stall with a very peculiar looking dwarf. She stands before you and she has a full red mohawk with two pigtails that have been kind of braided on the outside to kind of stand directly out. She looks like she's been electrified, but the front of her face is painted with a bright blue adornment, and she has earrings that have been pierced into every part of her ears and nose. She is currently selling in a stall not too far away from the Court of Stars, where the alchemist shop resides. She has in front of her a number of very thick-looking ham steaks that have been fried and are just dripping with grease, and they've been hung up on hooks, and there are little boiled eggs that are laid out on the mercantile counter as well. And as you step forward, she kind of like looks you up and down.
I suppose you've been sailing, eh? You look like a sailor to me.
Well, yep, yes, thank you. I think is that a compliment? I don't know. Does that
You
mean I look
take
shady?
it as you like. What could I help you with today?
I would like. Can you tell me how much one of these steaks and one of these eggs for? Oh, pauses for a second. How many are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do you count
Yes,
Rosie and Bone Splitter?
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Well, you would count Rosie as
Whoa,
half and
Bone
Bone
Splitter,
Splitter
hold
as
up.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna. You know what? He doesn't count that much. There's 10 people. We'll divide it up later.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. We got a very hungry crew. Yeah,
Just made it off.
the docks. Yeah. Huh?
I just met up with some people. They can't hold their ale, you know.
Don't I know that story?
And
I don't know where they came from.
she bustles about, and she gathers up 10 of these steaks and 10 eggs and puts them all together in a burlap pouch for you, wraps it up and ties it with a piece of rope, and then hands it to you, and you spend 2 silver.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I put an extra egg in there for you, lad.
Oh, do I look like I need the protein?
You do. You're very thin. You be careful.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. What's your name? How can I thank you?
Grimbold.
Grimbold?
Grimbold.
All right. Well, thank you, Grimbold. Maybe see you around.
I'll be here, you know.
Be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you kind of wander off. I'm gonna make a perception check for you.
Okay. Like she, right? I don't know.
Grimble,
Seemed very nosy.
She. It was a she. Dwarves are very fluid in their
personable.
own way. Yeah, it's interesting. So she kind of like nods to you as you go off, and as you begin walking back down the Way of the Dragon, which is the current thoroughfare that leads you back towards this very large, flat stone keep, and it is the Keep of the Magistrate, and it is used for judicial purposes here in Waterdeep. You're very familiar with it. You have a lot of friends that have been locked inside of it for what others call crimes, but you feel like maybe, well, they were probably criminals, but the real
The
crime
law's
is
not always equitable here.
no.
We know this.
Yes, it is. It's a difficult thing to navigate. So you don't like being this close to that building, lest you find yourself within it. And you've been trying to duck low because you do know that you have a number of bounties on your head. And if anyone were to find out the captain that you were sailing with, there would definitely be problems.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to have a nice day, bye-bye. Okay.
As you
Fair
make your
enough.
way back to Rosie Glimmerspark's tent, and I say tent, but it's sort of a loose ramshackle assortment of building parts that have been placed within the tinted area of the Mercantile Court of Stars. It is a network of shops and eateries and little boutiques that are piled upon each other all around a single fountain. And there's a fountain in the center of it of an image of a woman who has outstretched arms towards the sky, and beneath her, carved in all of the stonework and the cobblestone, is a constellation, and it's the constellation of the night sky, which is why it has the name Court of Stars. Not very creative, but it is how they have dealt with it here in the Southern Ward. So as you walk across these cobblestones and the life of Waterdeep spins around you, you blend in without an issue. Unremarkably, you disappear into the sea of people. And Calder, as you get closer to the alchemist's shop, you notice that there is a figure standing in the alley across the way, staring at the building.
What does this figure look like? Is this like a spooky figure or like a street person?
It looks like just a person in a cloak. You can't see features, and they're just standing. It's a dark, unremarkable gray cloak, and they're standing and looking at the shop itself.
And so I guess, wanting to lay low, but he's also a confrontational dumbass, so... hey, you alright, buddy?
The individual looks to you with a bit of a start, and you do see their face now as they make eyes with you. It is a very broken-nosed looking individual with a rough jaw and a black eye. What's it to you?
You got something to say to that establishment there, or what's?
I don't care about that. I don't care about that. No. What makes you think I care about that place? The figure looks around. I'm going to make another perception check for you. You can roll an insight if you like.
Okay. Oh boy. That's a 10.
You're not sure what this person's about. You don't like it, but you really can't get a read on them. Look, I'm just here, minding my business, waiting for a friend. Why don't you take your scrawny legs and use them to walk away from me before I rearrange that pretty face?
And how's that worked out for you in the past there, buddy?
You're testing me. I'd keep moving.
All right, well, good luck with your studies. Just like goes into the shop, I guess.
And as you walk in, you notice that the figure he turns and he walks away as you walk in. And so you're now in, and as you enter into the brightly colored tent, there are pastel colors everywhere. There's a shimmer of kind of like a vaporwave light that kind of undulates between all of these bottles of pink and blue and purple, and they kind of shift throughout the entire space. Some of them are functional potions, but it seems that the proprietor, Rosie Glimmerspark, who is a gnome, she has decorated the space so that it is always illuminated with this very magical and very bright, cheerful lighting that kind of follows you along. And it pulses kind of as you walk. So as you walk through the shop, it gets brighter around you and darker behind you and in front of you. And behind the counter, you see you standing the large form of Bone Splitter, who wasn't around when you first left this morning. It was almost dark out when you walked out. The sun was just rising, which honestly wasn't that long after everyone kind of came back and crashed in. You're going to be a little, worse for wear, but you think that the others are going to be really wrecked. They were trying to follow you in the drinking, and the goblin/elf girl was being very gracious with the drinks and the dancing. So the two of you danced the better part of the night and had a wonderful time, and you got to know the rest of the individuals there. The first thing that you learned was that they are not professional drinkers. So with that knowledge and the ham steaks in hand, Bone Splitter looks to you.
That's a complete sentence for you, right? Okay. Yeah, here you go. So Calder just takes out a couple of the steaks and eggs and like pushes them towards him a little bit. Like,
thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, there's the shady figure out there. I mean, not figure, just person.
Bone Splitter's eyes narrow, and he walks towards the edge of the tent and pulls a flatback and grabs a two-handed battle axe.
Whoa! But he left. He wasn't doing anything. I mean, he was just staring, and he had a real messed up face. I don't know. I got a bad feeling, but he wasn't like. I don't know if that's necessary yet.
And he walks out.
Oh. Shit.
Calder, you make your way into the back room, or do you go after Bone Splitter?
I'm gonna look out the window and see if Bone Splitter, to see if...
He is stalking through the mud-covered streets of the Court of Stars. It was raining heavily last night, and it's pretty wet out there. But you see him walk out into the middle of the street with this enormous axe in his hands, and everybody parts away from him as if he's was a plague victim. And so there's this void in a very crowded street where this Goliath steps forth, looks around, and then looks down an alley, turns, and then walks back, kind of coming towards you.
I mean, I guess either way, you'll be fine. And that's following him around is definitely not a way to lay low. So I'll just go into the back room with the rest of the sack of food.
Okay, Siraye. Calder, who has been gone for some time, returns now with a package that smells of cooked meat. Everyone else is still asleep.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna get up. Did I see Bone Splitter leave?
Bone Splitter and Rosie were never in the back room this evening. They came back with you, and they made sure that everyone found their beds. But then Rosie doesn't sleep here. You don't know where Rosie stays. She's got a closet here, and there's another door that nobody's been through that leads back into some other chambers. But she's never slept here. And Bone Splitter usually is either in the front or in the back by the stables. I say stables, but really it's just a overhead tent that has been stretched over a hitching post.
Right.
It's where Maglo is currently sleeping, not Maglo. The horse. The horse Maglo is currently sleeping.
I know who you're talking about.
Is
Okay.
Siraye up? Is she alert and looking around?
Yeah. She's alert. She's gonna stand up, be like, she's not gonna say anything to you. Yeah.
Calder just reaches into this sack and pulls out an egg and a steak and hands it to her, just wordlessly, like a peace offering almost.
I'll take it.
And as soon as
Squinty
she
eyes
takes it, he
you.
says, Your extremely large friend just went out into the street with a battle axe because I told him there was a shady person staring at this place like it was wearing a corset, and now I'm not quite sure what to do about that. But I figured maybe you'd want to know.
I'm gonna hear that, and then I'm gonna put the sandwich down on the table, and I'm gonna go out to check on Bone Splitter.
Well, I mean, it's a finger food. You could take it with you. All right. That's not going to keep. Or maybe it will.
Question, am I still at disadvantage?
No. Any disadvantages, any damage, any sort of harm that you had while you slept has been removed. You are not dead, Doddle. You are, all of you are asleep. I need everyone to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Do I feel a little dead?
I saw you roll twice.
Am I
What
feeling
did
Mr.
you? We'll take your first roll, please, Mike. What did you get?
19.
A 19. Okay. Donald got a 4. Hawk got a 19. June?
12.
12. And Maglo?
16.
Hawk, you wake up. You look around and you are drenched in sweat. And it takes a moment. It's like you'd been hit in the head. You don't recall the dream. And you feel confused and lost, and you don't recognize your surroundings. And then you see all of the brightly colored bottles, and you see Rosie's workshop. And in that moment, everything comes crashing back in. And the full weight of the dream and everything that you experienced is upon you. What do you do?
Hawk tears open his shirt to see if his scars are still there or not, and he starts looking around frantically.
Whoa, buddy! Keep your shirt on.
They found me. They know where we are. Calder. Hawk's frantically trying to put on his armor as quickly as possible.
Good morning to you too. Okay.
Family. We gotta run. We gotta get out of here.
What? You are not running anywhere. Look at you. Oh my god. His hands in like a sandwich. Eat something.
Okay, I think I'm gonna hurl.
You want to get that out of the way then? And if you're gonna do it, you better do it.
I just take the steak. I think something's trying to. I mean, I know something's trying to chase us, but I think something found us.
Something? What do you mean? Where? What's chasing you? You've been asleep. You drank yourself almost to death, apparently, and then you passed out. What could possibly have chased you?
Something that I don't really know how to explain it to somebody who doesn't know what's up, I guess.
Rude.
No, that's fair. Remember when I said that something really bad happened to me?
Yes. That was one of the first things you said to me.
Yeah, well, you were asking for my story, which, by the way, you never told me your story, so...
I told you enough. Anyway.
The things that attacked me down there are kind of the worst fucking things in this world you can possibly imagine. And they're hunting me.
In your sleep? I just try to...
No, they know how to get inside people's minds and do shit to them that you can only begin to guess at.
So this is not just a bad hangover.
No, but it is a really bad fucking hangover.
Maglo, it takes a moment. The first thing that you hear you feel the cold of brass against your face as the small bird-like feet of Busby walks across your face and pecks very gently at your forehead. You do feel as if you have been hit by the ale cart.
How can I almost professionally drink poison and yet I can't just drink a normal drink. How does that make any fucking sense to anyone?
As he sits up, Maglo has the small brass construct, Busby. And Busby has his glasses are crooked as he sits up, and the small mechanical bird is hanging from the end of the glasses. And it still has this horrid kind of dented gash across its chest as it kind of hangs there. Yeah. And there's like this pulsing kind of blue light inside of the gem on its chest.
Is there like a nightstand or something?
There are tables everywhere, but this isn't actually an inn or a bedroom. You're in the back room of an alchemist laboratory, and it is tables and workspaces and bedrolls that have been laid out on the floor.
All right. Then I'm just gonna like upturn the bag over one of the tables, steaks and eggs, and just point. I'm just gonna look at Maglo in the eyes and point.
Fucking champion, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that.
June,
right, give me 2 minutes. I'll fix you in 2 seconds, mate.
You wake June. You hear Maglo and you hear others speaking in the room, but for a moment, everything is muted. And you look over at Dawdle, and she's still asleep. And she looks troubled in her sleep, and her back is, up against a wall. But you swear for a moment that there's a shimmer and this blur of pulsing light that overtakes her form. But it immediately leaves your vision, and you are awake, sober, and without a hangover.
So just noticing that happen, June's gonna first collect herself, and she's gonna go over and just kind of squat in front of Dawdle and just kind of stare. She's inspecting her, but from an outside perspective, she's just straight up staring at this chick's face.
Is Dawdle a goblin now?
I'm assuming that once midnight hit, I turned back into a pumpkin, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That
Seasick child.
Yeah. You didn't see it. She was an elf when she went to bed, and now there's a goblin there.
Oh, Dawdle's back to normal. That's good.
Did you normal?
June,
that's what Dawdle normally looks like. You remember saying that we had a goblin friend, and then when an elfin person came in, we were really surprised.
Yeah, that's the guys. We need to. How's there? Just start packing, guys. We need to start packing. We need to get out of here.
Oh my god!
All right, calm down.
What's wrong, Hawk?
I think the mind flayers found me. We need to get out of here.
Why do you think the mind flayers found you?
The what?
I can't explain it, but I heard them in my dream.
You should have just called it that from the beginning. That immediately communicates the gravity of the situation.
Well,
oh my god.
Not everybody knows what a mind flayer is.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds real bad.
Oh, wait. Hawk, explain yourself. What?
Oh no, I can't say it with words, but it's like they know where I am. It's like they were watching me when I was sleeping. It's like I was back there, and I could hear their voices in my head. And
that's all right. It's all right, bud. It's all right. Calm down. It's all right. Breathe with me. Breathe. Okay, breathe in.
While he's freaking out, June's gonna lightly shake little Dawdle's
You
shoulders.
reach your hand out to touch Dawdle, and you are thrown across the tent as an explosion of unseen force rockets you away from her.
Yeah.
I immediately open my sword to my hand.
You crash into a table, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yay.
If I told you that was a nat 1, how would you feel?
You take 10 points of damage as the table shatters underneath you.
It's a good thing you didn't have a hangover.
And
what happens when you have friends?
The unseen force now has this like shimmering blue flare and then dissipates and it immediately disappears. Dawdle's little goblin hand is held outward when everyone looks back at her, And Dottle, your eyes are open, and the last thing that you remember seeing is your mother's face as it shimmers, and then you see June, but the magic has already been released.
Oh.
One question. We had a long rest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You had a long rest.
I just,
Yes. Had a long rest. Congratulations. Everybody got a long rest. I will say, however, that Siraye, you're currently going to make some rolls with disadvantage because you are exhausted. You did not go back
Sounds
to
good.
your
I
meditations.
Think, but everything else for long rest,
Yeah,
it went through.
You got a short rest for sure. So everything else goes.
Oh
through.
shit! Well,
I was wondering if they were
accidentally
do your
hit
do
long
your
rest,
do
so.
your long rest, and I'm just going to have you roll with some disadvantage.
Yeah, I can write down exhausted.
You got your key energies back.
Yeah, that's what my question was. I was like, did we get a short rest because we had nightmares? Or
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to hit you with a narrative hammer and then punish you mechanically. I'm not that dungeon master, okay? I want to be dramatic, so now pay the price.
For my drama.
I unsummon my sword and I run over to Juniper and I'm going to use my Asimir healing hands to restore 7 points of that damage.
Okay, so you immediately heal the damage. There's just a glowing orb of energy that pulls out of the air as Hawk lands on Juniper's like chest right here, and just reinvigorates her with healing energies that heal any of the bruising that you just suffered.
What the fuck?
The second thing that happens is that Bone Splitter bursts through the tent flaps in front of you with a battle axe.
Cal's just
Whoa, but
Sword reflexively resummons into my hand.
June just kind of grabs onto Hawk. She's just so shocked that she just kind of hugs his legs.
He's desperately looking all around and looking for something to hit.
No, Bone Splitter, we're right, bud.
So he turns and he walks back through. And we'll come back. As he does, Siraye, you're in the front of the tent. And when you left, what were you trying to do?
I was just gonna check on Bone Splitter because the kid said that Bone Splitter left to check on a mysterious person watching the shop.
He's been looking out the tent suspiciously, and he has a battle axe with him. There was a bit of an explosion in the back room. He comes back out, and then he looks to you. And then he opens the tent flap and then kind of motions for you if you want to step outside.
I'm gonna stay, and I'm gonna also keep checking outside the window to see who's out there.
And he steps through the tent flap, and his enormous form kind of like shadows the window that you're looking out of. Everything goes dark for a minute as he blocks out the sun, as you see this Goliath start to pace around the outside of the tent. I'm going to make some perception checks for you, Siraye. Oh, well then.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
I did not.
Yes.
I did not re-roll it. I will.
Bless.
You did not get 2 though, so don't. There's nobody out here. In fact, suspiciously, that building is still closed across the way. And if what that kid said is true, that would have been about the general area that the encounter happened.
I'm gonna leave the building. I'm not gonna leave the building. I'm gonna head back into the shop. Because I presume I hear whatever.
Yeah, Bone Splitter stepped back. There was a crash, and then he stepped back, and he just kind of was shaking his head. So you took that to mean that everything was okay, but it's up to you as to what you want to do.
I'm gonna leave and go back into the main room.
Okay. Yeah. You step in with the rest, and June is on the ground. Hawk is standing there. Dottle, you're now conscious. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna stay frozen for a second, looking super fearful, processing what just happened. I'd like to look at my hand and then look at my claws, and tears just start rolling down my face. I'm so sorry. I'm I'm sorry about that.
What the fuck was that about?
I just haven't been sleeping right, and I guess I just woke up with a start. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't had a case of exploding goblins? And Cal just takes a bite of a sandwich. I'm like, right.
So while June
you know.
is like holding Hawk's leg, she like looks up at him sheepishly and just like pushes him back. Like,
There's this moment where the two of you are on the ground together, and he's leaning over you, and your eyes meet, and then you push him away.
And this whole time, I have my sword like held up between the.
Oh my god.
yeah, our eyes lock, and June, like, her heart like starts beating real fast, and then she's like, "Get off me!" Pushes him.
I do not understand. Okay. The sword just unsummons. All right, we should eat. Shit.
What's wrong?
I had a dream last night, and I think the mind flayers know where I am.
Can I go over to Hawk? Like, get out of the bed and go over to Hawk, and can I grab his hand and say, Hawk, did you have a traumatic experience in your past?
I put my hand over Dawdle. No, Dawdle. I use creepy runic swords, talk to ghostly creatures, and I wear black armor all the time because I had a wonderful childhood. I tap her twice on the claws.
Are you, when someone actually asks you, you're gonna be that way about? Okay, all right.
Hawk, I don't appreciate your tone with me right now because I am trying to be a good friend to you, and that hurts my feelings.
Right, sorry, Dawdle. It felt a little condescending when you said that.
It's okay. Hi, Hawk. Hi, sorry, chicken. What's your name again? Harold.
Harold. It's the name of your damn chicken.
I just woke up from a dream. Leave me alone. I'm gonna go back
June
to Hawk.
gets up and shakes herself off and walks over to Hawk, and she's like, "Hey, so then what do you suggest we do right now? What is your course of action?"
May I finish my thought? I wasn't finished. There was a chicken, and he was snarky. No, it's totally fine. Hawk, perhaps that traumatic experience is showing itself in your dreams, and perhaps you just feel connected to that very dark, negative time in your life, and perhaps it was just merely a bad dream that feels very vivid because of that psychological damage that those events have caused you.
No, Doll, it's not just a bad dream. These are things
How do you know?
Because they have literally been inside of my head before. They're the type of people where once they start looking for you, they don't stop until either you're dead or they're all dead.
Yes, Calder?
You just exploded.
I did.
Oh, yeah. I feel like we're not addressing
I feel like we should
the thing in the room.
But I'm saying, like, you just exploded.
I can...
Is that also just a bad dream? What kind of dreams do you guys normally have?
Oh, well, Calder, allow me to explain. First of all, I am swollen green now. I wanted you to process that correctly.
Yeah.
That's going to be my normal state for, unfortunately, quite some time. But I can explain. In my dream, I was in a high-intensity situation, and you know when you, like, pee yourself in your dream? It was kind of like that, but instead of, like, swimming in the ocean, I was literally in the midst of battle, and so when I woke up, I must have just, like, ah! You know?
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, sure.
I also haven't been sleeping well quite recently, so...
Question for the DM. I would assume by this point, Juniper knows that high elf chick is Dawdle. She put 2 and 2 together. Like, she's not.
I don't think that you could. Yeah, I don't think that you could miss it at this point.
Yeah.
So I think that it's all in your mind. Like, you're somebody who operates on faith and intuition. So I would say that you probably knew before this. This is not like a new revelation to you.
But also last night, I didn't exactly look like me. I looked
Right.
like an elvish girl with quite similar features in a completely different dress.
Yeah, it was very similar to the imagery that you've seen in your visions. And after hearing Dawdle say that she was, discovering that she was an elven princess certainly
Right.
put you upon the mental
Put it
path
on.
that this is probably all tied together. But you've relinquished yourself to the winds of fate. You know, you do that all the time in your practice. So
Yeah.
you think that you're in the place that you need to be in, and now you have the shield, which just kind of sends it home.
That just changed. That just changed some things in June's mind about Dawdle, so.
Good. This is all supposed to be dynamic, so glad that things are changing.
And you just got hit by a fire blast, so.
Speaking of which, may I go over to Juniper and be like, I am so sorry. Are you all right? I really didn't mean to, I promise.
I just kind of look at Dawdle in just a way that I've never looked at her before, kind of skeptical. I'm better thanks to my friend Hawk.
You called her
And
your
then June just kind of
friend.
walks away from Dawdle and goes to stand closer to Maglo and Hawk.
Hawk,
So-
she called you her friend.
Everybody can make an insight check.
Woo! Do this one.
Oh, nat 20.
You got a nat 20? Okay, so roll, as per the house rule, I need you to roll again. See if you can get some of those repeating numbers the way that Hawk was in his dream.
Oh, God.
I
straight up thought we were all gonna die.
Bad really quickly.
Got a 6.
I love that stuff.
We are in a room.
I got
That is what counts.
Okay, 6, you're in a room. 8, you're in a room.
My first roll was 22, and then I
Uh-huh.
accidentally rolled a 16. Does that
No,
count?
yeah, I'm not going to force. Yeah, you don't accidentally roll something and then I'm going to force you to it. The first number is the one that we take. So you got a 22, Maglo, you got a 23. Yeah, so you all kind of don't notice, but Harold jumps up onto the table and sits on the pile of eggs that Calder has put onto the table and is apparently trying to hatch the boiled eggs. But in this moment, you notice that she avoided Maglo's bedding when she walked across it, like she was trying to stay away from something. And Maglo, you and Dawdle both see your pack, and it has tipped over, and peeking out from inside of it is the black bound book with the leather and the scales that have been interworked across the face of it.
Maglo just immediately puts the book back in his bag, and then almost in one motion puts it back in his bag, walks over to Harold and is like, get the fuck away from the food.
You swat Harold away and jumps off the table and away from you.
Can I catch him?
Yeah,
I
you
catch
catch
him?
Harold. Yeah, you catch Harold.
I was like, Harold's a girl?
Yeah.
Harold's a chicken who was named Harold.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So-
chicken, duh.
Yeah.
Harold has never communicated their preferred pronouns to me, but biologically,
Okay.
he's a female chicken. But I don't think Harold cares. Maglo, what was that?
What was
I didn't the book. I didn't recognize it. Is that a new one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I roll an insight check?
You don't need to. You can read the room as you need to.
Huh.
The insight check was to notice the book because it was more than just perception. So you've all made your rolls.
Harold, this changes everything. Maglo has a diary.
I do not have a diary.
Wait.
I mean,
look.
okay.
I whisper that.
Okay.
Is Hawk
Whisper.
able, because Hawk was in the room where they found the book, is Hawk able to put the
You didn't see the
puzzle
book.
pieces together? Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I mean, unless you're thinking about the book, you didn't notice that this went down. Like it was
kind of a behavioral check, not so much perception check. And yeah, you're not aware of that. There's too much going on.
Okay.
I think what we should focus on now is what the hell do we do?
I was just about to fill out the report. I filled out about Herford yesterday, but then, we played the fucking game last night, and I was like, well, I ain't gonna sit out because I'm particularly good at it. But I gotta finish this, and then we can go to Riana Bellview, tell her what we saw about Sirens Call, then hopefully go on from there. Hawk, your dream. What do you want to do about that, bud? This is literally the safest place aside from the crypt, and I fucking hate the crypt. Lads, I hate it so much. I really don't want to go back.
I kind of do.
Crypt?
You guys told me the Grave Master needs to see me.
Grave Master.
Cal, so we kind of sleep here sometimes because it's warded from the people hunting us.
Which are everyone?
Not everyone.
Not everybody, just the bad guys.
Who isn't?
A lot isn't.
God, I'm
hunting
drawing
us
so many blanks. I think there's one dude in the City Watch who's kind of chill with us, but we were real thin ice.
Phineas Fiddle Scratch has also really helped us in the past, but I don't know what's happening.
Phineas is a good guy.
All right. Besides the point,
We in the crypt. The crypt is really well warded as well, so we kind of stay there. But the person who runs it kind of wants Hawk for
An apprenticeship.
The Grave Master and I serve the same god. And he's taught me a couple things.
Long story short, are you okay with dead bodies?
I mean,
we might
You
have
look
to go back.
like somebody,
yeah.
like no offense, Calder, but you look like somebody who's made a few dead bodies. So
I can see it.
Bah.
I mean, we've all made a few dead bodies.
Princess. What's up?
That's me.
Who else? Yeah, I.
Can I go over to Calder and just hug Harold and just look up at you? I have above average sized blue eyes that take up half my face. I know that our situation seems a little peculiar, but I'd like you to stay if you'd like.
Len, we're doing stuff on the Sirens Call anyway, kid. You might as well join us.
June's in the background just kind of doing one
As
of these.
soon as he says that, Cal goes, okay.
Oh, God.
Bone Splitter walks back in, this time through the back, over where the hitching post and the tinted stable area is. He walks in and looks to you, Siraye.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then he points his head back out to the alley.
Yeah. I was as I come into this room, I very directly go. I'm very directly trying to get to the back door and get out of the building so I can look around.
Yeah, you kind of witnessed this as you walked back in. You were here for a few minutes, and then Bone Splitter appeared on the other side and motions back. The two of you step into the alley.
I'm gonna follow him. Yeah.
Yeah, and Maglo the horse is there, and the wagon is still there, but the horse has been unhitched, and fresh oats have been put out in front of Maglo. Water has been provided, and generally the area seems very calm.
You can't stay.
I figured.
That sounds fair.
Did you see anything out there?
Rosie would keep you. I can't let that be.
I understand. But did you see anything out there?
No. But that doesn't mean it's not there.
I agree. I'll gather them all and we'll leave immediately.
Send her letters.
Of course. Before I head back in, I'm gonna inspect the place, like the surroundings, and I'm gonna make a round, Bone Splitter, and then I'll get them going.
You make a round across the tent, and yeah, actively there's no one here that's watching. It's very clear, but you feel that in itself is suspicious, and you find that the other stall across the way, that the one that's been shuttered now for a couple of days, you find that suspicious.
Can I go inspect the stall?
Make an investigation check, please.
Boop, 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 boop. And I still have a
disadvantage, yeah.
Disadvantage, fuck. It doesn't matter because I have a negative in investigation. Woo, I am the best rogue in the world.
Oh, yeah, you look around and you don't see anything out of the ordinary around the stall itself. It is shuttered, but it is a very simple lock. You could probably get through it pretty easily if you wanted to take a look inside.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Okay,
I'm gonna...
without a disadvantage, go ahead and roll your sleight of hand. You managed to open the lock, but you do break it in the process. So the door's open, but it's going to be clear that the stall has been broken into.
Right.
The door creaks open.
Before I go inside, I want to investigate and see if there's anything suspicious or out of the ordinary, like a trap or, I don't know, anything. Like, wouldn't make me not want to walk in this room.
Yeah, there is a heavy silence on the stall inside. There are flies and it stinks.
Great. I'm gonna step in very carefully with my spear at the ready.
You do so, and on the ground you see the rotting body of the merchant who you had seen here days ago, selling fruits and fresh vegetables from various farms throughout the outlands outside of Waterdeep. She was a kind woman, elderly, and she had very bright green hair. And that green hair is now in a pool on the ground, and rotten fruit and her blood is scattered across the floorboards. And it looks like she has had her throat slit.
Woof. Can I investigate the room, see if there's any footprints, how many people there were, anything that could...
You get closer to her and you realize that the slitting of the throat isn't the only thing. Okay. Her green hair had obscured it, but it looks as if the back of her skull has been cracked open, and it doesn't look like her brain is within its cavity. Someone has mutilated this corpse.
Can I roll to see if I know what it is? That did that?
No, you don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh shit. Okay.
A psychopath is what you're guessing.
Yeah. Woof. Okay. Can I investigate the room more to see how many people, like maybe what object was used to, like if there's a murder weapon or.
You can roll your investigation with a disadvantage.
Whoa.
As you feel that
negative,
strange, what it is, Siraye, is that you feel the blank void. Actually, you did pretty well there.
You feel the blank void encroaching on you, and your meditative place of solidarity and strength is washing the real world out around you. You are distant and removed. In fact, in the back of your mind, you know it's not there, but you hear as you feel as if the Manicore is pacing right behind you. You know it's not there, but it's distracting you as you know that you'll have to find meditation at some point if you wish to be of any use. However, through it all, you focus, and looking about this small mercantile shed, you realize that whoever came in here did not harm the woman in any other way. They stepped up behind her, they slit her throat, and then the brain was removed for whatever reason. It was almost medically done. It's a very clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
Someone took a blade and opened this poor woman's skull and mutilated her corpse. And left her.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't look like teeth marks or anything, but it looks like a surgeon of some sort did this.
Yes.
Got it. All right, I'm gonna head back. And I'm gonna close the door behind me. And I'm gonna head back into Rosie's shop.
Okay, so you re-enter. Everyone, you're still standing around. You've been talking to one another. And what are you doing, June?
Siraye just walked in?
Yeah, she's been gone for a few minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to Siraye. Are you good? Like, what's going on?
We need to gather all of our things, and we need to head back to the crypts immediately.
Thank you. Somebody's making sense now.
Hawk did say that, but what happened? What's going on with you?
It's not safe here. I'm fine. It's not safe here.
Siray, what did you see?
Hawk and Maglo, I need you to contact the guard that you trust the most, and you need to inform them that about the stall across the street from us. There's been a murder.
Wait, what?
Yep. So you need to contact whoever your contact is and let them know so they can investigate that and take care of that. And we need to evacuate immediately and go to the crypts.
Do you think that was our fault?
I don't believe it was our fault at all, but it is concerning, to say the least, that it happened so close to Rosie's.
The actions
and now
of others
Rosie,
is not the fault of ours.
And now Rosie's is compromised, and we can't allow any danger to befall this place.
Right, we need to.
Yeah.
We should tell Rosie and Bone Splitter that
Bone
they should
Splitter
probably
already
bug out
knows.
too.
Bone Splitter's is already very aware, and we need to leave immediately.
All right. Well, what do we tell Echobar? How did she die? Like what?
I went in and investigated. Her throat was slit, and her brain is missing.
When you say that, Hawk gets completely ashen faced. Siray, I need you to be absolutely certain when you say that.
I'm very sure it was very precisely done, almost like a
something that'd be kind of hard to miss.
They did find us. I told you guys they found us. It's the mind flayers.
Okay, let's go.
That's what they do.
Who's gonna
We need to
pick
go.
up
All
her-
right, let's get her going. All right.
Okay, who's driving? Me?
Did you guys piss off a monster that steals brains?
No, I did.
Well,
a long time ago.
Everyone pisses off monsters that steal brains. Mind flayers typically don't like anyone. Anyway, let's get everything. Let's pack everything and let's pack it all into the cart. And yes,
All right.
June, you should drive since you seem to be the best person at handling Maglo. Everyone else, get in the back under the cover, and I'll join you up front in the passenger.
I mean, should I not just go to Riana Bellview? Hawk, you can go with them. They're hunting you, right?
No, I'm not leaving anybody alone.
Maglo, you're not being tracked, so yes, you should go report it. Hawk,
Yes, ma'am.
you join us because we need to get you to the crypts as soon as possible.
Maybe
Maglo can't go by himself.
We can travel with Maglo, put him in the cart. We'll all go just for safety and backup. And after that, as soon as you report it, we're out of there.
I can handle myself. It's like literally, I'll be in and out, like no trouble. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go see the fucking guard, and then I'll be right behind you.
Yes, Maglo, you can get in and out very quickly, and that works to our advantage too, because we should still stick together no matter what. I agree with June on this.
So everybody's going to drop him off so he can report to the guard?
He's going to report it to the guard. He's going to come back to the cart. We are all going to go to the crypt.
The crypt. Can I, you know what? I'll just meet you at the crypt, right? I mean, that's fine. There's no need for me.
You do not know where the crypt is.
You got me there.
I know where the crypt is, and I also think it might be beneficial for me to avoid the guard.
I'm going to the guard. No one else is going to the guard. You're just waiting.
All right. Okay. Maglo and I will go to the guard. Hawk, June, Dawdle, and the kid
Calder
are gonna go to the crypt.
I don't want to throw this around idly, but if mind flayers are around, you guys need me.
Are you sure that you're a good idea going to the guard, Siraye? You, of all people.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna go to the guard. I'm just gonna wait for you.
All right. As I said before, we're all going to get in the cart, stay under the tarp. We're going to drop Maglo off. He's going to run in, report, come back. Call.
All right, fine.
If you want to join us, that is what we are doing. If not, it is your choice to leave the tent now.
You can hide under the blankets with us. No one will see you. It might be best to stick together.
If you don't want to be involved with us, we get it. You can walk away now. But no, if you speak of anything that we've told you, that's a threat to us. But I wish you no ill harm.
He looks skeptical at that and goes, okay, all right. Considering that there's been a murder real close by, this place is about to be swarming with guards anyway, so I might as well. All right, okay.
I'm gonna smile at Calder.
Does everyone load onto the cart?
Yes.
Wait, can we say goodbye? Where's Bone Splitter?
He is not here.
Bone Splitter is taking the necessary precautions to make sure both him and Rosie are safe. You have the box for letters, correct?
Yes.
All right. We'll write them a letter. Okay?
Okay.
Before we leave, Hawk's just going to write on a scrap of parchment, mind flayers, not safe. And then he puts it on the shattered remains of the table.
Can I roll a perception for that?
Are you trying to blame the mind flayers for the broken table?
No, but it's the only table that he sees. Wait, is that the only table in the room?
No, there are plenty of tables.
I put it on a different table.
Sorry about your tables, mind flayers.
Putting your conspiracy theorist papers all over the place. Gonna leave him some red string.
I think Maglo also wants to see him put it there, or wants to see if he can see him put it there, and then walk over and write in really small, like, there are mind flayers. It is not safe. We have left.
Hawk isn't even being subtle about it. He just writes it and puts it on it.
So you leave a note, and you step out into the alleyway, gather the cart and the horse Maglo, and make your way into the city of Waterdeep as it is approaching mid-morning.
I'm gonna throw up my Cloak of Elven Kind, since I figured I'll sit passenger.
And as you sit
and all of you ride out, hidden beneath the tarps and the crates that have shielded you from view in the past. You hear the din of the city around you, and Rosie's falls off into the distance as you pass by the Keep of the Magister. And we'll take a break there. We're going to take just 5 minutes. Please don't turn off your videos. We are going to keep this going. You can mute yourself if you so choose. Yep, wave a little bit so we know that we're taking a break. And then we're going to come back into this in just 5 minutes, and then we're going to wrap it up so that we can let Piper get to her brother's birthday.
Yay!
Hey.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right.
How old is he? I don't know.
Water. So do it.
Okay.
That's
Hello,
the future
Morgan
Momo that's
Freeman.
editing this.
Yeah, you're right. Let's threaten her. If you don't drink water, it's over for you, kid.
Momo,
I'm gonna visit you, and I'm gonna fucking waterboard you if I don't see you drinking water
God.
right now.
Okay, that's torture, Matt.
Morgan
Wait, no,
Mantis
It's just like really
toboggan
aggressive
O'Brien.
getting someone to drink water.
Guys, wait, we
It's
only
a
have
nice
5
thing.
minutes. Go get your snacky snacks.
Hello, it's me. We're all alone now. I would just like to say that I think you're just swell. I love you very much. You should drink water. Just take like a small 5-minute break. Text your cute boyfriend. He's probably missing you a little bit. And use this time just to meditate on your current situation and how fucking neat this little gang of D&D people are. That's the tea or something. Still us. We're still alone. I'm vibing. I'm fine with it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I kind of want to read the book. I kind of do. And Piper's joining back. I'm gonna stop.
Got my snacky snack. Potassium. My goal in life is to grow up to be, you know, those really elderly Black women that always call you baby and make you feel good about yourself. That's my goal. That's who I shall be.
I want to be a witch that lives in the woods, and the children of the town tell stories about me and throw rocks at my window, but then one kid finds out I'm actually like pretty dope. And then we solve mysteries together.
My dream is to, on the surface, appear normal, but everyone around me and in the suburb is like, but we've never actually seen, like, nobody knows them. And did you see the guy across the road who was out digging at 4 a.m.? I did. He's so weird. And I just harbor this dark, very weird, cryptic secret that nobody knows.
We'll be the complete opposite.
Digging.
Yeah.
So that his lover could plant her lavender for her spells.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's it.
But only they don't know that. No one else knows that.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking Tim Burton movie.
People also like kids like sneak look into the like my house, and they see just kind of like a lot of it is kind of normal, but then there's like this weird corner with like dying flowers and like bones and like all these like weird things, and as the kids look at it, then I just appear in the like across to them, and I make and they all get scared and run away.
That's a lot of time spent in front of a window hoping that a kid's gonna peer in.
Yeah, it's my full-time job. It's I get paid by Neighborhood Watch.
But when it pays off.
When one kid is kind of traumatized, that's when it really.
I just picture I'm like making muffins in the background or something, and I'm like, Matt, what are you doing? You're like, I'm waiting for a child, and I'm like,
There's children.
Nice,
They're gonna
honey.
appear. I can hear them playing outside. I've lured them here because I saw one of them looking at me digging.
That's nice. It's just it's been 3 hours, hun. And do you want like a
console
book
it.
or something? You want me to grab you
choking.
your Switch?
No, I don't want to get distracted.
Okay.
Pictured you standing there, and Momo has her muffins, and she just like the kid sees you, and then Momo comes into view with a pan of muffins. It just waves. Oh God.
I'm so confused in the best way possible.
We're talking about our dreams for when we're old people. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
When
be
you
that
guys are old and I'm
Old
still
granny.
the same age, it's gonna be weird.
The city streets pass beyond you as you make your way to the front of the Magister's Keep. It is in the southern ward of Waterdeep, and it is a teeming sea of people that are moving back and forth on their various tasks of the day. There are broadsheet salespeople who are peddling rolled scrolls that offer news of the day. There are various competing broadsheets that are within the area. Typically, these small areas are run by children who spend their day peddling these broadsheets. And as the carriage is pulled closer to the Magister's Keep, a large number of City Watch seem to be on patrol in this area. In fact, to most of you, it seems an unnaturally large number of City Watch. Everyone can make an investigation check.
One noted Cal is sweating.
Yeah, this is more city officials than you've seen in some time, and it's unsettling.
26.
Oh no.
Yeah.
23.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, that's not a natural one though.
So
Two minus one.
anyone who gets over a 20, you realize that they're on high alert, and they are actively seeking for anything that seems out of the norm. It seems that the keep itself has already undergone the repairs of the damage that has been caused in the recent destruction of one of the parapets of the keep, where a number of prisoners had escaped.
Right. Y'all stay here. I'm gonna go. Because as far as they're aware, I had nothing to do with this. Okay?
I put my hand on Maglo's shoulder. I'm coming with you.
If you do anything that makes them want to search this cart, I swear to God, I swear
Don't
to God.
worry. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Why does the sun hurt my brain?
Is there something wrong with your brain, Doddle?
I feel real gross.
It's
Like,
hangover.
just lay down. Just lay down and just try and breathe through it.
Okay.
Out a flask, like hair of the dog, maybe.
Oh, I don't think I want to drink hair of the dog, but thank you.
It's all right.
Down the steps of the Magister's Keep, down the very broad, tall stone walkway, is a very stern-looking man. He is dressed in the cloak and armor of a captain of the City Watch. He has a shaved scalp, a long mustache, and is heavily muscled, tall, and has a rough and callous manner. His blunt nose sits upon his face, and there is a network of scars across his head. He glowers as he marches down the steps with a small retinue of City Watch alongside him. He immediately notices that this cart has stopped in front of the keep. And Maglo, you and Hawk are doing what at this point?
Just getting out.
Yeah, same here.
That can't remain here. Move it along.
No, it's not.
Of course, we'll meet you guys on the corner.
Where do you go with the carriage, June?
Yeah. Go around to the corner. Is there like a shaded part over there?
Yeah, make an animal handling check, please.
Come on, Mama.
Good or bad?
I didn't handle them pretty well at all.
Uh-oh.
What did you get?
A 3?
Uh-huh. So Maglo, the horse, as you encourage him to move along on the street, becomes stubborn and immediately stops and kind of rears his head back and pulls you out into the middle of the street. Is that going to be a problem?
No. Maglo, if you could get from there, we should be just fine. If you do this, you'll get lots of treats, buddy. I promise you.
You can make a second animal handling check. You don't think he understands your words, but you can try one more time.
Thanks, God. Heck is that? A 10.
You managed to get him to move, but you're now going in the opposite direction that you wanted to go in. You could either try to turn him around or just accept the fact that you're going this way, away from the guards.
We're going to accept it.
So, with Maglo the horse in the lead, you are pulled down the westernmost street, and he begins following another carriage with the horse and kind of begins trotting slowly behind it as you leave Maglo and Hawk in the distance. The guard that are standing on the step then redirect their attention towards the two of you.
Hi, we're here for High Scribe Riana Bellview, Shibu.
Who's asking?
I'm Specialist Maglo Mandorian. This here's Hawk.
Do you have papers with you?
Yep. He gets the sealed letter. Oh, I mean the open letter now. You're like, hey.
He takes it, he looks at it, he looks at you. The High Scribe is attending to the magistrate today. The two of you may wait within the Grand Hall. When and if she has time to see you, she will take your report.
This is an emergency, unfortunately.
I'm
Otherwise,
sorry, who are you?
My name is Sir Damon Evanmore, Knight of the Aster. The fuck?
Well, Sir Knight, you will wait in the Grand Hall. When she is able, she will see you.
I walk up, kind of a little bit more close to than comfort to him.
Mm-hmm.
This is a matter of life and death.
Make an intimidation roll, please.
It's a 15.
He is motionless as you stand. He locks eyes with you, and he holds his ground. Then he swallows. Very well. Make your way to the Grand Hall, and I will send a runner to inform the High Scribe. Should she find this urgent, that Sir Damon Evermore has arrived, then she will see you immediately. But she will find you in the Grand Hall. And he motions.
You have my
up
thanks,
to
Captain.
So the two of you walk up the steps, and you stand in the long, marbled entryway of the keep itself. There is a single, well-appointed, enormous oaken desk on the far side of this long marble hallway with a rug that is outstretched in bright red that comes from the entryway from the door, the large double doors, all the way down to the single desk. And behind it is a large pair of double doors that lead into the inner chambers of the keep.
Along this side are a series of benches, and there are people milling about, waiting, sitting. There are a few community boards that have wanted posters and other items upon them. When you walk past one of these boards, you immediately see a wanted poster with an image of a goblin on it that looks somewhat familiar. It is confused looking and has a certain innocence to it. It's a fairly accurate drawing, and it is seeking the immediate retrieval of an escaped criminal. It says wanted alive, and currently it is 500 gold pieces for the return of that goblin.
How many people are knocking around?
Quite a few, probably about 20.
Is this the type of board where bounty hunters would take off notices?
Make an insight check.
That's a 9.
You can take whatever you want.
Right. Maglo just goes over and just takes it off.
Okay. The man behind the desk grumbles, but nothing else happens.
So, we're using fake names now, or what?
Listen, Maglo, don't go around telling other people that that's my name, okay?
That's your name?
It used to be. Before all, this happened. I don't like using it that often. Just kind of brings back bad memories,
No, I get it.
A young clerk arrives in a small sheen of sweat across their brow as they push forward to you. Pardon me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just some of the watch had immediately informed me that you would be you were seeking the high scribe.
Oh yeah, no,
that's correct.
Please come with me. I will see you to a library. If you don't mind, it won't be the Magister's chambers. Is that necessary? Are you pointing to you, Hawk? You're the knight, yes?
He kind of turns a little red. Yes.
Okay, just come with me. And the very nervous and studious-looking scribe takes you down a series of corridors to a library. It is a small room that is probably about 20 feet tall. It's only maybe 20 feet in diameter, but the ceilings stretch upward, and there are these beautiful, very deep walnut shelving units that wrap all around the visible wall. And there are books everywhere in this rounded room, with a series of rolling ladders that allow anyone who wishes to find text in the upper reaches of these shelves to be able to ascend and find them. At the very top of the room is a skylight, and inside, natural light, even though it's still overcast in Waterdeep, natural light is kind of pouring into a gray wash, and the room is very simple. The table in the center is also circular, and there are a number of candles that have been burnt down. Sitting at the table is the high scribe, Riana Bellview. She has her hair pulled back very tightly, and she has a pair of small spectacles that sit on the far side of her nose, as she has before her laid out a great and massive tome. And she is currently working furiously within it, dipping into a pot of ink and scratching furiously away as she works. When the two of you enter, she stands. She is excessively neat, and you can see that through her garb and the way that she carries herself, she is a meticulous person who is very enamored with the details of everything around her, the aspects of ordinary life that others take for granted. Her robes are perfectly pressed, and the rings and other sigils of appointment that she holds are perfectly placed. Nothing is out of order, and in fact, the book and tome, the ink well, and all the other scrolls are lined up in perfect precision in front of her on this table. She stands and addresses you as you enter. I'm quite glad to see both of you. Please, have a seat. I was beginning to wonder if perhaps my trust and belief in you was misplaced. Henrik, you may leave us. The nervous-looking scribe nods and walks out. What have you discovered? Have you found contrary information regarding this Sirens Call?
Well, I filled out just a tiny bit of information about the day. Maglo pulls out like 5 or 6 full back-to-back pages of information and puts it on the table. We're not entirely sure if it's contrary to what Inquisitor Stormward said. I don't know if you heard about what happened, but the whole place was fucking riddled with fucking criminals. The grasping eye. Upstairs there was gazers, there was a fucking manticore that was being taken. Like, if Inquisitor Stormward said that if it was all okay, then he straight up is fucking lying. That ship came with all those things. The fact that the grasping eye was all around it. I mean, as soon as we walked in, they threatened us and tried to attack us. I don't know if you heard what happened at the ship, but the ship's fine. But the warehouse that it was held above completely collapsed just due to the fight and the amount of people that jumped us.
She places her hand on a stack of parchments. These are the reports from last night's incident. I assumed that you had some interaction with the happenings in the dock ward. However, I had not heard about these gazers. That's in your report.
It is. I can make them off full one. This is just like overnight.
There are also reports that you were not alone. Is that accurate?
No, we weren't. We had some friends helping us.
The young sailor was a part of this.
Who?
The reports here from the City Watch speak of a young sailor, someone that was associating with you in that alley.
Oh, they weren't there for everything that happened. They literally just found us after. The kid has nothing to do with it.
More or less stumbled upon us.
And then who was engaged with the criminal activity with the gangs?
Who's engaged? What do you mean?
If you weren't alone, who was with you?
Back up. Maglo, like, very obviously, like, written on his face is like, I'm not going to say it, but you know who it is.
Fair enough. Please have a seat. Would either of you like wine?
Yes, please.
I'm actually dying, and I don't think I'm ever going to drink again, so I'm actually all right, but thank you very much. You got water?
Yes, we have water.
Oh, that'll be perfect. Thank you.
She pours a goblet of water and puts it in front of you, pours a goblet of wine and puts it in front of you, Hawk.
The fact of the matter is we don't have a lot of time for these pleasantries because there is something a lot more dangerous
You
in your
think
city
upholding the law and doing the duty that I have put upon you is a nicety?
No, I understand. I understand where you're coming from, High Scribe, but there is something that happened this morning that we do need to tell you about.
I'm listening.
Hawk?
I don't know any other way to say this than to say this, but there's a mind flayer in your city.
She looks wholly unsurprised.
You knew about it, didn't you?
This is water deep.
All right. Well, I think the more obvious thing is a mind flayer attacked someone right next to us.
That is of note. Where?
Do you know Rosie's shop? What's Rosie's shop called?
That's a good question. It's in the Court of the Stars. There's a grocer's store that's been closed down for the past few days. Inside, you'll find a body with its brain surgically removed from its skull. It was right across from where we were staying, a place that was magically warded and enchanted.
Do you have any indication as why this merchant was killed?
There's a few.
Maybe a warning to us. Like I don't want to seem big-headed, but you understand that the trouble we're in.
This also isn't my first encounter with mind flayers, and they have hunted me for a while, but I believe that there might be one, perhaps a part of the Grasping Eyes gang. Why, I can't say.
Would it surprise you if I told you that after our encounter, I sent word through a messenger to a few of my associates in Baldur's Gate? And they have returned to me with some very interesting information. They told me that the Sirens Call left port with a very large storehouse. The Dragon's Hoard treasure and the magical beasts that they had accumulated over the course of its travel. And that before it was dry docked here within the dock wards, that there was an individual of some note that was traveling on board that ship, a cleric, and that cleric disappeared. The manifest that I was given by Inquisitor Sternward does not match the notes that I have on what left the harbor. I was hoping that perhaps you could help illuminate the situation.
Yes, ma'am. I actually got some the captain's notes that talk about a cleric. They were doing weird chanting. One day they just went completely missing. But a lot of the crew seem to be like scared of him from the captain. So I actually have him here if you just want to read whole cloth what it is.
Is this everything that you retrieved from the Sirens Call?
All right, no. There was a back room. There was a couple of things in the back room. I grabbed some of them just so we can, just in case the ship completely went under, you know.
Do you have those items with you now?
I actually don't, no.
Where were these items located?
Captain's quarters behind a bookshelf, I believe, right?
Hidden compartment in the captain's quarters.
Which would explain why Inquisitor Sternward was unable to find them.
Yes, we have them safe kept right now. Whatever, we weren't able to get everything out, so I'm sure that if you went back, you would probably find the rest.
I actually wouldn't be sure about that because Inquisitor Stormward, as we said, when we left, he was walking back, so he might have been able to go in and just take a bunch of stuff. Now, this is the thing, which is why we wanted to come to you, as quickly as we did, which I do apologize about basically demanding your attention. But we left it open because the entire warehouse collapsed and we just kind of got to get out of Dodge, and we grabbed what we could and then left, but we didn't have time to close it. So I hope the things that we grabbed could be of some help. But if your man has taken any of it, we can't help you.
Well, as I said, I have a report here from the City Watch and Inquisitor Sternward regarding everything that was found on the Sirens Call, what was discovered in the alley, this young bystander, a large number of bodies. But no secret compartment. That doesn't seem to be in the reports.
Perhaps leaving it out of official reports for whatever his business would be within his best interest.
would you say that the items that you retrieved would make the balance of the missing items from the ship's manifest?
Oh, I don't know. I can't say. We can give you everything that we found.
Yeah, we don't even know what it was that we grabbed out. Scrolls and crates, but we haven't been able to properly look through them yet.
Of course. Well, I'll need everything that you found, but I would prefer that you not use the traditional channels. I will send a messenger to you. I would prefer to have the advantage of surprise if it does, in fact, reveal itself to be a deception on the part of the Inquisitor.
Oh, I can do that.
Thank you.
Where can my messenger meet you?
Have you got a place that you know is secure?
The Way of the Dragon. If you go beyond that, there will be an empty guardhouse that has been in disrepair for some time. Within it, you'll find these markings. And she puts down on a scrap of parchment a series of sigils that denote a placement within the street on the northern side of the southern ward. You can enter into the back alley, and she places a key on top of the parchment. Leave the items there, lock the door after you leave, and my people will take care of it.
Thank you.
This report seems to be very thorough, and I appreciate that. Inquisitor Mandorian, when will I be able to count on your services again?
You keep calling me Inquisitor Mandorian, you can count on it whenever.
It is imperative that we break the Xanathar's Guild, but I'm not able to operate openly in doing so. I would like to keep you on the payroll, and we will be using you and your underworld associates to our advantage. However, I have to move very carefully, and if you become liabilities, I will disavow your association with this office.
Same goes for Yunus.
Very well. And she reaches under the table and pulls out a small box, pulls out a pouch, and tosses a bag of coin to you.
Ye fucking hammer.
This will cover your operating expenses and the inconvenience that you faced up until now.
Much obliged.
Hawk doesn't even look at the gold. There is actually a favor or two I would ask instead of payment on my behalf anyways.
You told my man that you were a knight. Did you say Order of Aster?
He just kind of gulps. Once upon a time.
Sir Knight, please.
The person I'm charged to protect and I have currently been magically branded by the Xanathars to track us. It would probably help us move a little bit more efficiently through the city and on behalf of your office if such a curse would be broken. Is there anyone you would be aware of that could help us with this issue?
Of course.
Oh, that would be good if
you misunderstand. Of course, I know someone who can break the curse. No, I will not be a part of doing so. Inquisitor Mandorian, you are a pragmatic and intelligent fellow. Would you explain to the Sir Knight why that would be ill-advised?
I apologize, but I'm blanking a little bit on why our original deal of helping us isn't quite happening.
I will aid you. But currently, the fact that your friend is tethered to the Xanathars is your greatest asset. You just haven't used it yet.
In lieu of breaking that curse, may I ask for your advice on how we can properly utilize it?
I firmly believe in the intelligence within this room. I wish you both well. Thank you. And she begins working at her books.
This library, can I come and use it?
Inquisitor, when you are free of your current restraints, you would be welcome to take an office here and work permanently within this establishment. We would be honored to have someone of your intelligence and skill, but currently, I feel that leisurely reading may be outside of your abilities.
Of course, it wouldn't be leisurely. The local library, as I'm sure you're aware, isn't exactly up to scratch.
And I will remind you part of our arrangement. Your presence here cannot cause suspicion. Your status as an operative is dependent on the fact that you are not seen to be publicly associating with me, of which I will also remind you that when you stepped into the keep today, you used the discretion of a bull elephant in a china shop.
How about this? In the guardhouse, in our little secret nook, if I leave a note asking for books and things that I need, can your pal, friend, whatever they are, leave the books or an equivalent of in the nook? Then I'm not being seen, but I'm getting the information that I need.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Pleasure doing business with you, ma'am.
Be well. Be safe.
You too.
A bit of advice, though. If you are indeed facing mind flayers, protect yourselves. There are ways. Best of luck. She goes back to her work. During this time, I need June to make 3 animal handling checks.
Going to jail because of a whore.
7.
Okay, what was your second roll?
A 6.
And your third roll?
Oh no.
15.
Okay, so you spend most of your time fighting the horse in the middle of a street, some way removed from the keep itself, and eventually you do catch it back onto track. And as you turn around, about an hour later, you manage to meet back up with Maglo and Hawk. Everybody in the back of the wagon, please roll a stealth check.
I'm in the passenger seat. Should I still roll stealth?
No. In fact, for you, I'm going to make a perception check with a disadvantage. Yep, you didn't notice.
18.
18, you're hidden, Dawdle. Calder?
Did that one show?
Yeah, it showed.
Oh.
Not great.
Oh no.
You're uncomfortable, your leg's asleep, and you're trying to reposition yourself, and a box kind of shuffles over, and for a moment, you and Dawdle and the chicken in the back of the cart are revealed. June, as you're pulling up, and you see Maglo and Hawk coming down the steps of the keep, you see a number of individuals that are bringing themselves up in front of the carriage itself as you pull it forward. They are City Watch, and they're on horseback, and they pull up beside you in the carriage. I'm going to have to ask that you stop right there.
Is there a problem? Is it something?
We just have a few questions about the goods that you're carrying in the back of your carriage.
I'm gonna, at this point, take off my hood, and I'm gonna be like, I am so sorry, officer. Our kids can be such scoundrels.
June just kind of snakes her arm behind Siraye's back and says, I mean, if you want to deal with a bunch of rowdy children, of course.
I need you both to make deception checks right now. I'm not having you roll with a disadvantage, Siraye. Just one.
Okay.
God.
Because I'm counting your advantage as taking away the disadvantage. Okay, Siraye got a 17, and what did you get?
16.
The guard squints and then kind of glances back at the back of the wagon.
They like to pretend that they're little burglars hiding from the guard.
While this is happening, we're gonna look at Calder like, oh shit. I'm gonna take off my scarf and can I put it around Calder and then
he immediately just wraps it back around her. You're green. You're green. You're
no. I'm gonna whisper into my hand as if I'm whispering to something very small in there, and then I'm gonna rub it on my face as if like the words created a cream. And as I cover myself, I'm gonna turn into like a child version of the lady you saw yesterday, just like a little elf girl. Take the scarf.
While that's happening, June just kind of leans in and goes, I'm sure you have a family of your own and you know exactly how children are, yeah?
Can I pop out?
Yeah, you pop out.
You got me!
See what I mean?
All right. Move along. And the carriage picks up Maglo and Hawk, and you all ride off to the city of the dead. At some point, Calder, you take a walk.
We don't see this, do we?
No. This is like everybody's settling into the crypts, and Calder stepped out to get some fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
While you're in the streets, is there anything specifically that you wish to do?
I mean, I guess I do need to, not right now, I guess, because I need to meet back up with that. I need to go toss that coin in the water at some point, right? How many days has it been now? Just one?
It's only been one, so you have time. But as you're walking about, you're just keeping an eye on things. As you're clearing your head, someone in the street stops you. It is a very gristly looking old man with a clean shaven face, but heavily wrinkled and pockmarked and covered in sea salt, and has a kind of a ragged tabard that is wrapped close and a wrap around his head. One eye is a very, very deep green, and he as you're moving about in the street, he grabs you by the arm. What do you do?
I don't recognize him, I assume.
You don't, but he calls you as you are grabbed. Squig, is that you?
I'm not sure who or what that is, but he mistaken me for someone else, sorry.
I never forget a face, ya squig.
What is it you want?
What are you into? You aren't sailing with the captain no more, otherwise you wouldn't be in here.
No, he like brushes his hair back a little and you could see the scar, like we parted ways.
I never liked him anyway. He was a ship captain and a danger to all of us. Far too interested in things far away instead of the coin you can count. Who are you sailing with now?
I don't have a new ship or crew to sail with, as it were. At least not on the ocean, anyway. I'm just sort of seeing where I end up.
You wouldn't be lying to me, would you?
Make a deception check.
Oh, well, that was an 18.
Oh, okay. That's very good. With an 18, he looks at you. His eye squints really small. All right, then. I'll be staying over at the Northern Inn. You hear about a good deal. You bring old Carib back into the fold. I'll make it with your while.
All right.
The Northern Inn, don't forget, boy. I'll find you otherwise if I hear you're sailing out there and you forget to bring me in on anything good.
I'll keep that in mind. What are you looking for?
He begins to twitch, and his body shakes, and it stumbles forward for a moment. I'm looking for Damon Evermore. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
So good.
Oh boy. Knocks that voice filter. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Pure vibes.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. We're out.
My dude.
Bye, guys.
Oh my god. Cool.
So death?
We rushed through the introduction of the crypts, but we're going to go back in time and we'll get that and then we'll come back out. But I wanted to leave with a little pocket with Az to make sure that they got some juice while they were out.